This is an exciting game from the white side. This happened in 2023 with the 5 brilliant moves and plenty of great moves back in Romanian Championship. The white player is Szabo and the black player is a 2200 FIDE master. Anyway, let's begin the game. But remember, there are plenty of sacrifices. There are making attacks, combinations. There are lots of inaccuracies and the blunders, and there are movement for black to go for a perpetual draws, but everything is missed and everything is found. A great game. Let's begin now. E4, C6, D4, D5. We have the Karo Khan advanced variation, bishop to F5, and now H4. Now the tricky part is it's a bit tricky line. Now the natural move G6 will be a mistake because after G4, bishop E4, then F3, bishop G6, then H5, the bishop will be trapped and captured in the next move. So the move like E6 will be a blunder here now. So the best line is H5. And now white plays the move bishop to D3, proposing to exchange the light square bishop, which black immediately does. And now after queen captures, now there is queen to A5 with a check. Now knight to D2, blocking the check, and now E6 now. White develops the king side with knight to F3, and black also develops the knight to H6, and now white goes for the king side castles and the knight to F5. And here the best line for the white side is to play knight to B3, but instead it goes for the move C4, and now bishop to E7 now, attacking the pawn on H4. Now white must defend it, so G3 has been played, and now king side castles, and now B3 is played. Instead of B3, A3 is a better line with expanding with the idea of B4, that is much suited to play against the move C5. But anyway, after the move B3, black finds the move rook to D8. Now the rook is lined up, x-raying the queen on D3, and here white player decided to play, and here white player decided to play rook to D1 now, lining against the rook here on the D file. And now white, and now the black played the move C5 again, not the best line, even though okay, still playable. So the move C5, and now pawn captures on C5. Here a better line would have been pawn captures on D5, but after the captures here, queen to C5 is the move played in the game, but a better line is knight to C6. Here in this game, throughout this game, knight to C6 was an option, but that happened quite late in the game. But anyway, this knight to C6 is a better line. Next move you may capture with the bishop on C5. But in the game, queen captures is, that's not a precise, again an inaccuracy. So again, plenty of inaccuracies in the game. The move like C4, then B3, and a queen to C5 is an inaccuracy. And now here a knight to F1 is played. Again, not the best move, an inaccurate move now. For black side to play, best move is knight to C6 again now. But black side got a bit greedy and now thought about getting the move, getting the queen for a rook and a bishop with the move b takes C4 now. A bit greedy, and now the whole tempo of the game changes. The whole characters, the dynamism changes now, because now we have a big, huge material imbalances. Now is offering to take with the queen for a rook and a bishop, and with a check, now the king subjected to become a weak now. So there was no compulsion from the white player to go for it. Simply knight to C6 would have been the best. But anyway, here the white player happily goes for this exchanges, the queen sack, and now bishop captures, rook captures, and now king to H7 as it happened now. Now the rook is on an excellent rank now, that is totally pinning the knight now to the rook, plus the rook is covering all the good squares for the knight, plus these minor pieces will become a great pieces and start attacking now. So after the king to H7, the white player decided to go for knight to E3. So knight to E3 idea is played in the game. And now the black player find the best move now, queen to F5. What a great move now. So the idea is to obviously to attack the rook, plus keeping an eye on the E1 square, and also pawn takes, pawn is a threat now. And now the white player goes for the idea of knight to G5, and now king to G6 must be played. King to f7 is not the best move because there is this knight takes h7 happens with a check, so we can avoid those things. So king to g6, and now again the brilliant move from the white side. Now very nice move, knight to g2. The idea is obviously to go to knight to f4, and here this is a critical point. Now if it happens in our real game and our king is a very exposed, now here we need to find only moves to stay in the game. So this is the last chance for the black player to stay in the game. He must find the move knight to h6. So what is the idea behind knight to h6? Now the knight protects the f7 square, and most importantly the square f5 is available for the king. So that is the whole idea. But here the black player didn't find that move, or then he goes for knight takes on g3, a very desperate move, now looking for sacrificial options, and now the f5 square is available for the king. But anyway, now we goes for the idea of knight to f4 check, and now king to f5. And now here is the next part. Now knight takes on f7 with a support here on the rook. Now queen cannot be taken, and here since the chance is left for the black side to win in this game with the move of a knight to h6, now the game is all black can at best expect is a draw, but then you have to find some accurate moves. Anyway, here the black player decided to go for queen to c3. Now here he was expecting attacking the rook. Now obviously the rook must move, and then queen to c2, rook moves, and then queen c3 attack, and with a repetition of draw. But that is not what the white player had in mind. White player again finds a brilliant move. This is the best move in the game, the double exclam, king to g2. What a great move. And now this king to g2 looks like a simple move, but that facilitates mating attacks with the move f3, so covers the f3 square and the h3 square in many good variations. Now we have to see what will happen. Obviously now the rook is under attack, rook can be captured. So let's look at the move after queen captures the rook. And now here is the best part. Now knight is coming to d6. Now the king has got only two moves, just only two moves, king to g4 or king to e5. So let's consider what will happen after king to g4, and now we begin to fully realize the idea behind how king to g2, how good is that, f3. And now again only move, king captures on h4, and now knight to g6 is a mate. Look at the knight is giving the check, and the bishop and the pawn is covering all the escape squares. So that is a beautiful mate over there. So after the move knight to d6, king really cannot go into a mating attack, so king must take it. And once it is taken, the knight captures on c4 with a check. And now once again, anywhere if he walks on to the move e4, then there is this check now happening. So king goes to f5, and now rook is giving the check now. Once again forcing the king to go to e4 square, and now f3 check. And now only move to play, that is king to d4, and now bishop to b2. Look at that. And now the king and the queen is under attack, and the queen will be lost in the next move. So now we understood all this combination is really working. So it cannot really capture the rook in the corner. So that we understood. Now rook cannot be captured for sure because of this knight to d6 check. He decided to play the move knight to e4 now. So removing the knight from the attack. And now here is the next move. Again a very interesting move now. That is rook to f8. That is x-raying, and plus the knight can be removed with an epic discovery, and then this will be an interesting try. And still, can you take it now? If you take it, then there will be definitely pressure happening. Let's say if you take it, you may just play check here, and if you go king to g4, then f3 check. If king takes it, then there is knight to g6, as we saw in the previous analysis. So you must always take it like so. But there comes the next idea. Knight takes it, and now only move again. Now bishop to b2, and then the queen will be lost. So once again we understood that rook is poisoned and it cannot be captured in many of the variations. Here once again the best move is to play knight to c6. Now once again this is the last chance to get into a draw, at least after knight to c6. That is a good. If you have this is something good, you have to give your material back and then just stay in the position. But then he didn't find it, and he finds the another blunder. Actually king to g6, excuse me, the knight was here. Actually king to g6 is the blunder line. Now we need to find a very good, excellent continuation now. So I give to the weavers to find a fantastic problem like mating attack. So white to play, and it starts with the move knight to g6 check, and it cannot be taken. If you take it here, then there is knight to g6 check, knight to h6 check, then king goes to h4, and now knight to g6 will be a mate. So after knight to g6 h6 check, it must be taken. And now here is the final idea. Now whoa, another brilliant move, knight to d3, and now this will be just game over. Why? Because the idea behind knight to d3 is to give the way for the rook to come to f4 check. So how can you stop it here? Now if you take it, then you simply take it. If you take the knight, then there is check. Now so if the king decided to take it here on h4, then the bishop will come back, and then there is a big threat, and that will be unstoppable. So now we understood the whole idea of knight to 2 here. So anyway, this whole idea is didn't find here now by the white player. So instead he plays the move bishop to e3. And bishop to e3, the idea behind bishop to e3 is to block, so there is this f3 check here, and that is the reason we see. And now once again the rook is immune. Rook cannot be taken. If the rook taken, then there will be a check happening. So he decided to take the pawn here now. So there is no f3 ideas. And now once again the white player finds another brilliant move, that is knight to d5. What a great move. Now the knight can be taken, or the queen can take it here now. So what is the idea of knight to d5? Once again the idea is the same. Just remove the knight with a tempo. With the knight to h6, if he takes it, then rook to f4 with a checkmate idea. So that is the whole idea. And now let's say what will happen if you take it now. Let's say if you take it here, and now that is the whole interesting part. Now thus the knight is removed, then there is knight check here, and must be taken like so. And now there is the check, and now if king goes to g5, then rook to g4 is a mate. Look at the combination between all the minor pieces, and the rook and the pawn here delivering the checkmate. Now the knight is protecting the rook. Now the rook is delivering the check, and even the little pawn on e5 has a role to play. The f6 escape square is covered. So for this check, if you play knight to g4, now this rook will come into the game. You see rook with a check, and now again we are forcing the same position now. So we understood that. So we understood that in this variation, the knight cannot be captured. So we understood this knight. This knight cannot be captured now. This knight cannot be captured. So what will happen if you simply capture the rook? If you capture the rook, then here is the next idea. We will move knight to h6 check, and if king captures, on h4. And now let's look at how the whole combination begins now. So let's give it to the viewers how to, after this forced variation, after queen captures the rook. Let's give to the viewers after queen captures the rook, and now it's up to the white player. And white player did find a series of almost like 16 more series of moves to deliver. So this is an epic king hunt and to deliver a final blow, and that I assure you the end position, the final position is simply breathtaking. Anyway, so the best continuation now, a mating attack now, white to play and win. Obviously knight to h6. If this knight is taken, then a rook to f4 will be a mate in 1. So it should first capture the pawn. But now there comes the move. Now bishop takes it with a check. And again only move should go there. And now bishop again, one more check now. And it cannot really go this way. If it goes it that way, then the knight is removed from the f2 square. So for example, and now king to g5 and now rook to g4 will be a checkmate. So it cannot walk into those lines. So after this move, king should go to g6 and now knight goes to e7. And here goes it king to h7 now. Look at the king has been methodically brought back into its own shelter, but this shelter wouldn't provide enough protection for the king. And now knight to f7. So what is the idea behind knight to f7? Now rook to h8 is the simple mating threat. Now look at these two knights are just dancing around its enemy king. And remember, any check given on the second rank, let's say b2 or a queen takes a2, will be easily met by queen to king to h3. So he played the move knight to c6 now. Look at that one. Knight to c6, a developing move, should have played in the opening. Now it is coming like almost once the king is in a mating net, it is happening. But at this point, it's already too late. And here, the thing is, white shouldn't just get hurry and then just take the rook here, because the knight will be an important attacking. Knight will be lost in the process. But here, white has a way to overcome that one with a mating attack. So that starts with the move knight to g5. And now king moves to h6, and now knight takes on e6 with a check, and now king goes back again. And now since the pawn is removed here, this f5 square is available for the knight to give a check. So that was the idea behind this knight takes e6. So again knight goes to g5, king to h6, now knight to f5, and now king to g6, and now from here knight goes to h4 now with a check. Again now only move in the game, and now rook takes rook. Only now you just take the rook now with a simple idea of rook to h8 checkmate. Now let's say at any point the check on a2 will be easily played by king to h3, and now rook h2 mate is definitely it is looming. And now if he plays the move, let's say that also happened in the game, in the real game over the board, the white player played all this over the board. That in itself is a great achievement. It's just finding everything with the queen sacrifices and the combinations, all the strong moves. But anyway, this rook h8 is coming. So g6 now with the idea of escape square one more now. So here is the best move now for the white player. He finds this move now, rook to g8 now with a simple mating 1 is threatened. So what would you play with the black side? So black decided to play knight takes e5, and now can you find the final combination now? So this is white to play and mate in 2. I hope you found it. But anyway, so here is it for the record. Rook captures on g6, check, and now knight captures, and now here is the final delivery now. Whoa, what a great move now. Knight to f5, and now all the escape squares are covered by the knights, and the remaining squares are covered by its own chessman. So that is dooming the black pieces. So look at this game. This game has a great number of brilliancies and great moves, and there is the lowest chance for black in this position. Its lowest chance was like knight to h6 instead of knight takes g3, if you remember. And then at every point once again this knight to c6. But the game got really exciting after the pawn was captured here, and then queen captures on d1. So again, a very great game by the white player. So I hope you like this one. We'll catch you in the next video.